So a very, very good morning I extend to all of you. And it's a wonderful morning, and I thank you for the gift of your kind presence. And as a return gift, I humbly assure you that you will really congratulate yourself for making this decision. This might turn out to be your best investment of time you have ever made in your life, and I'm saying it with deep humility. I'm going to take you on a very interesting journey, and you will not like it to be interrupted by anything in between. So kindly ensure that your phones are on the aircraft mode. So to begin with, let's have some fun, okay? So imagine you are holding the rubber handle of a 3-foot-long rod, the other end of which is by the side of your seat, and it is hinged at the floor level. This rod can only be moved on a vertical plane, either towards you or away from you. Now you are about to start seeing some pictures. The next 3 slides will be of pictures, one after the other. And the moment you see the picture on the screen, within a split second, you have to move this imaginary handle whichever way you feel like. That is, either push it away from you or pull it towards you. Thinking is prohibited for this activity. This is not an intelligence test. Just let your impulse guide you. I want you to enjoy, so when you push it away, shout away. And when you pull it towards you, shout towards. Okay? So now get ready and hold your fist in the neutral position. Okay? Just hold your fist here. So you are ready to either push it or pull it. Okay? Do it. Do it. I want you to be like kids. Enjoy this moment. Okay? Just enjoy. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. So, in a split second, okay? Towards, okay. Towards. How many people said towards? Raise your hand. Okay, thank you. What about this? How many towards here? Okay, only one. Okay, fine. This is a test which we did for fun, but this is what is very important to neuroscientists. And I will keep the suspense, and I'll not let you how they use it. This is a tool. I will explain how you can use it to literally transform your personality. My name is Anil Bhatnagar. I graduated from IIT, so I'm a columnist to Times of India and the Sunday Standard. I have been an expert guest on National Network of Television to respond to the queries of the viewers. Indian Society for Training and Development awarded my very first book by judging it to be the best to be published in the country among all categories. And thereafter, I have written several books. Some of them are here. Featured twice on the covers of America's #1 magazine, Personal Excellence, brought out by Covey Leadership Center, USA. And I was among the 27 international gurus interviewed in the Great Master Series, Awaken to Your Greatest Life Telesummit, hosted by Big Life Media USA. And I was declared Trainer of the Month by SAA, a Washington, D.C. company. I was among the 19 international gurus featured in Beyond the Secret, a sequel to the book Secret, written by Brenda Barnaby, a British psychologist. And since 2001, I'm a corporate trainer and large audience motivational interventional speaker to over 125 leading companies in India and the Middle East and the USA. I'm the founder of Thrive, and my website is visited by over 6 lakh people. I have worked for over 20 years with steel industry. I'm a Reiki teacher, poet, and a painter. But my real introduction is I see myself as your humble servant. And when I die, I want to die with a feeling that I touched some lives, made them better. So today's session is divided in 2 parts. In the first section, we'll talk about a problem we all share as humans. And in the second part, I'll be talking about mastering our lives with neuroscience. So let's get going. The first one is a problem we share today as humans. So when I graduated from IIT, I joined Rourkela Steel Plant. This was the first time in my life that I was going out of Delhi and I was away from home. And I was feeling very homesick. And I tried many things to kill time, but finally I decided that I should find other homesick people like me and go and serve them. So I started serving at a local hospital, and many people, maybe half a dozen people, died in my arms when I was serving them. One of them was Abhijit. He was from Kolkata, and he was 88-year-old with pancreatic cancer. And one day when in the evening after my office I visited the hospital, I found that there is a new patient by his side. I looked at him and I could guess that he was paralytic. When I was looking at this person lying by his side, this gentleman tells me, yes, he's paralytic. But paralysis is easy to notice when it is physical. And paralysis is not easy to notice when it is non-physical and if it is widely prevalent. He explained by giving a hypothetical example of a cage in which every time a pigeon is born, her wings are chopped off. So in the cage, all the pigeons are without wings. He said, if you were that pigeon, would you feel you are missing anything because you have never seen a flying bird? So you realize what you're missing only if you have something to compare with. So that's why paralysis is easy to notice if it is physical. If it is non-physical or everybody is having that paralysis, you will notice it. So what we don't notice, we fail to control. It keeps controlling and limiting us. And we don't even notice what we are losing that could have been possible for us until we arrive at the deathbed. And then he explained there are two kinds of paralysis. He said, what is it that you're seeking? Every time you come to my room, I find a book in your hand. What are you seeking? I said, I'm seeking God. I'm seeking meaning. I'm seeking purpose. I'm seeking the ultimate truth. And then he told, what for? I said, I want to become one with God. And then he retorted and said, first become one with yourself. If you have wishes and you cannot fulfill them, then you cannot hope to be one with God when you are not one with yourself. There are conflicts inside you. You want to do something, but you're not able to implement them. And having done that, you should become one with life, one with the people around you. When you have these two kinds of oneness, he whispered, then you won't seek God. You've already got him. 20 years passed. He died 3 days after giving me this sermon. And in my readings, I came across the work of Keith Stanovich. He's a professor of human development in Toronto. And he is known for letting humanity know that if you are an intelligent person, you are likely to use it against yourself. So a person who's less intelligent will do less harm to himself. So he cautions us that he talks about two kinds of rationality. The first one is instrumental rationality. What is instrumental rationality? It is the ability to use logic in ways that connect your available means to your desired outcomes. If you can use your gifts to achieve what you want, that ability is called instrumental rationality. The other kind of rationality he talked about is epistemic rationality, which means a pursuit of and adherence to the truth. Pursuit of and adherence to the truth. It means deliberately challenging your assumptions, deliberately challenging your beliefs, deliberately challenging the established, outdated traditions, deliberately challenging popular myths. It is becoming like a leaf. When that falls, it allows the truth to take wherever it wants to, just like a wind takes the leaf anywhere. So he says, There are no attachments. Wherever the truth takes me, I'm willing to go. I have no attachment to my beliefs and assumptions. And Keith Stanovich says, these two kinds of rationalities, the first one is an inner oneness, the second is an outer oneness. These two rationalities are better predictors of success, health, happiness, and fulfillment in life than any kind of intelligence that is taught in the management schools. Unfortunately, these two rationalities are not taught either in our schools or in our colleges. He coins a term called dysrationalia, and he defines dysrationalia as believing and acting irrationally despite adequate intelligence. In fact, he warns that the more intelligent you are, the more intelligently you are likely to defend your irrationality. Here is Michael Shermer, an American science writer. He says, smart people believe weird things because they are skilled at defending beliefs they arrived at for non-smart reasons. Now let us see how much damage instrumental irrationality has done to us. Edward Miller is the dean of Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, and as per him, in America, 6 lakh bypass surgeries are done every single year, and 13 lakh angioplasties are done every single year. But this costs America $30 billion. And 50% of bypass surgeries and angioplasties will get clogged within a few years, and they will need retreatment or resurgeries. And angioplasties will get clogged in few months of time. So when the patients are going out after these surgeries, the doctors warn them. They tell them that you have an option. Either you be ready to come back and go for a repeat surgery. If any one of you is asked this question, your answer will be obvious, which is, no, I'll go for a lifestyle change. I won't come back here. He says, I have never found a person who says, I would like to come back for repeat surgery. When tracked after 2 years, 90% of the people had not made any life changes. And he says, when death cannot frighten you, what else will? Now, we'll go to confirmation bias. This is the mother of epistemic irrationality. It is the major obstacle to epistemic rationality. Let us see what it is. What is confirmation bias? Now, there are 2 kinds of professions. One is that of a scientist, and another is that of a lawyer. The methodology of how they work is diametrically opposite. How? Scientist has a hypothesis, which is an experiment is designed, it is checked, and the scientist allows wherever the truth leads him. So there is a fixed path, fixed methodology, which leads to any outcome which comes, any uncertain outcome. Here, the path is fixed, but the outcome is not fixed, is flexible. Look at the advocate. The path is flexible, but he has already decided how to fight the case, where he has to arrive. He has to prove that he has not done the murder, and then he will find and connect the dots and reach there. Most of the human beings in their personal life, who do they resemble in their thinking? Is it the scientist or the lawyer? Most of us are like the lawyers. So if I have to give a diagram to explain confirmation bias, here it is. What the facts say and what confirms your beliefs. The overlap of that, we try to overvalue because it is trying to confirm my bias. And even if those are the facts, they are undervalued. We all know when the fluids are poured into vessels, they take the shape of the vessels, isn't it? And the same is true with the truth. When facts and truth are received by a person, they take the shape of his beliefs. Same fact you give to 2 persons, and Two different interpretations people will make according to their bias. Madness is not the result of uncertainty, but the result of certainty. If you really want to find too many confident and certain people under one roof, go no far. Go to a mental asylum. The attack of epistemic irrationality on all fronts of life, how it is creating a havoc among us. There are business disasters. So every single day, 2,265 businesses open up in America. And similarly, 32,000 products are launched every year. But 90% of the businesses that started, within 5 years, they come crashing down. Many of them will crash within a month's time. And 80% of the new products, they also fail. Now the question arises, when somebody is making so much investment, why did not he find evidences that this business will not work? Because we all believe our wishful thinking, our wishful beliefs. And then let's talk about NASA. NASA was warned again and again. It has so far sent 5 shuttles. The first one was Challenger. In 1987, it burned into flames within a few seconds of being launched. And it's not that the warnings were not coming. There were people who were telling that there is a problem with the O-ring seal. What you're seeing here are 3 things. One is the shuttle. On the sides are the rocket boosters, and just behind brown is the fuel tank. And between the fuel tank and the solid rocket booster, there is a reel. And this seal starts leaking if it is too cold. So from Florida in the wintertime when it was sent, 7 people died immediately after the launch. NASA did not learn the lesson. And in 2003, for 10 years, people were telling NASA that there is a foam insulation problem, that the foam may come off and it may fall on the wing. When the rocket re-enters into the Earth's atmosphere, it may burn. NASA was much bothered about the reputation, that the project is getting delayed, and they went for what they thought should be the truth because that's what they wanted to happen. They believed their wishful thinking. Now, there are many, many religious organizations where, because of the confirmation bias, people have met tragedies. On the 19th of November, 1979, 909 people drank cyanide-laced Kool-Aid, and all of them died. Why? Because they believed what the guru was telling was right. So they believed their wishful thinking. And it is also creating growing polarization. When 2 people discuss, they don't discuss, they begin to argue. And even if they sit for 5 years, their stand remains the same. None of them is able to convince the other person. And over the years, the polarization is increasing because people don't want to see the truth. They want to believe what they want to believe. And here is the polarization taking between Democrats and the Republicans in America. This is happening in many countries. This is Thomas Gilovich, the professor of psychology at Cornell University. He says, we are good at generating possible ideas, theories, and explanations, but we are often relatively deficient in evaluating and testing them. this is the first section. So now we are moving to the second section.